seafoam.
Our vice president had remarks yesterday, not a word salad because obviously it was all on the teleprompter, about Columbus Day, which she doesn't mention the word Columbus, I don't think.
No.
It is an honor, of course, to be with you this week as we celebrate Indigenous Peoples Day, as we speak truth about our nation's history. Since 1934, every October, the United States has recognized the voyage of the European explorers who first landed on the shores of the Americas. But that is not the whole story. That has never been the whole story. Those explorers ushered in a wave of devastation for tribal nations, perpetrating violence, stealing land, and spreading disease. We must not shy away from this shameful past, and we must shed light on it and do everything we can to address the impact of the past on Native communities today.
Okay, what are we supposed to do?
Wait a minute. Not shy away from its shameful past. I'm writing that down.
I mean, in other words, we shouldn't be here.
Why?
What are we supposed to do?
Joe, my question is on that phrase, if we shouldn't shy away from its shameful past, why are we insulting not only the Columbus fans, the Italians, but we're also insulting the Native Americans and indigenous people by taking one away, taking a day away from one group and giving it to another group? Why not give the natives, the indigenous people, their own separate day, week, month? That's not Columbus Day. Why can't everybody have a GD Day? Why does one have to go away for the other one to have one?
Well, plus, as we learned, Columbus was not necessarily Italian.
No, he was not.
No.
I am a total expert, and I can talk to you about it. Christopher Columbus set sail in the ocean blue in 14 whatever, but he stopped.
Yep.
He had to stop to ask for directions.
That's right.
And his wife, oy vey, she was all over him. She said, take a left. I know this. I know this. He says, what? Yeah. It was a long trip, leaky boat. We couldn't get across the St. Croix if we tried.
Did you stumble upon Beer Can Island?
Yes, Beer Can Island, Bare Ass Island. I don't even know what it is.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this.
Okay.
Be a great place for a deli.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I said to Morty.
Yep.
And he said, Schwartz, it's okay.
So your name isn't even Christopher Columbus.
No, it's a pen name.
Yeah.
This is what I use in disguise.
All right. What is your name?
What is my name?
Yes.
Mortimer.
Mortimer what?
I'm not going to reveal my last name because you might take away all my history, as you're trying to do now.
Kamala is very skilled at not much, but wokeism. She's very skilled at that.
What's the hard?
Because it doesn't really take a lot. It doesn't really take a lot to be skilled at that. So she is right out of the failed academy with this. We're standing on land that was taken from. What are we supposed to do?
Exactly. And you can't provide.
Is she going to stop living in the Naval Observatory? I think that's the vice president's house.
Yes.
I'm sure that was stolen land. What are we supposed to do?
You can't put a price tag on it.
My whole point is giving the natives Columbus Day. It's like giving them glass beads for the Black Hills. It's an insult. And why they decided to accept it with open arms is a mystery to me. And as far as Columbus goes, what about Leif Erikson? What about the Vikings?
Okay.
People have been coming and going from this continent for millions of years.
Okay.
Don't give me that nonsense.
Let's look at it a different way.
All right.
Let's say that the people who ruled Spain, and where did he take off from? Spain, right?
Spain, yes.
Let's say that the king said, never mind. I'm canceling that journey. We have no business wondering what's out there.
Okay.
That's not in our bailiwick.
The world as she's around.
The world, we're here,
Yep.
and this is, love what you have.
Yep.
Okay, here we are. We're not going anywhere. Okay, then what's the story of the world? So when they got here, I don't think where'd they land? Down around
The Bahamas.
they were out. You can get there. I mean, it was south, and
Yeah.
so yeah, I was out there.
Yeah, I was out there.
Yeah, they got them. You can get them. They were down there, and and so they worked their way up here, and they found
On the island of San Salvador in the Bahamas on October 12th, 1492.
right. But then they got to the mainland, right? I mean, they didn't stop there. They came over to Fort Lauderdale or something.
They went north.
But everybody was looking for gold and riches and silver and ore. You know. what was
Okay,
going on.
and they got here, put them now on the mainland of the United States. I see it somewhere in the Carolinas. I don't know where
Okay.
it was. And then their first contact with the natives, I can't. Are we to assume that the Columbus and his people were just merely murderous, so that upon the first contact with natives, the Columbus's guys just killed them all? Is that what we're supposed to believe?
That's not my my understanding of the situation.
Well, it's not
no.
mine either, but is that what we're supposed to believe?
Maybe that's what they want us to be. It was Plymouth Rock, by the way, where they
No,
got
that's
off the
the,
ship.
No, that was
that's
the
the Thanksgiving
Pilgrims.
people.
That's the
Oh,
Pilgrims.
that's the Mayflower
That's the
people.
Pilgrims. Yeah.
I got a whole bunch of different people.
Yeah, you do. That was where you had the corn and the coleslaw
the
and
maize,
the whole deal.
the maize
So,
cornucopia
so now,
party.
right. They had
Okay,
the horn, the basket, that's shaped like a
Can we
horn.
do a daily GL
That was-
history lesson on
That
stuff?
was full of fruit
That'd be fun.
Their foghorn was a big fart.
and vegetables. And they said, here, look at these people. They have
Hey, pass
funny
the butter.
ties. And
Pass the
they're-
butter. Anybody got any
Okay.
salt?
Oh, so, but we're back to Columbus now. That was before the
He-
Pilgrims.
if I may,
I wish you would.
I thought you were wrong here, and you were wrong. He never set foot on any land that became part of the United States, Columbus.
Well, then why in the hell
He-
are we even celebrating
He
this
ended
guy?
at San Salvador. That's where and then
Well,
he turned.
what
then he
good
went back
is he?
home.
What
Well,
good is he?
I
Why,
don't know
what's the problem here?
Why are you asking me?
Well, why are we doing this? Why was there a statue of a guy who never got closer than San Salvador?
Well, I
Why
think that's
not?
considered part of the Americas, San Salvador.
Why not?
Because it's north
Well,
south.
because
your
we
problem?
don't live there.
What's your problem?
Ain't got no white people there.
Wow, we really nailed that topic.
So let me straighten it out for you.
Okay.
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 Sure. Uh-huh.
So he's on San Salvador.
Yep. Control,
Then
please.
what? What did he do?
He went back home, I think.
He
didn't
left.
I don't know.
He went back home and reported to the.
Well, maybe he spent a week. Vacation.
It's a nice area.
Yeah.
We were number one on San Salvador
That's
at
right.
the time.
Maybe there was an all-inclusive.
He went back to his benefactors and said,
Hey,
"Okay,
he ain't gonna believe this.
I
Yeah.
found an island.
The
There's
world,
a-
she's around.
yeah, and his benefactors must have. Then other fleets went out.
We know he's Italian again.
Here's what happened.
Yes.
For nearly 5
Fusion.
months, Columbus explored the Caribbean, especially the islands of Juana, which was Cuba, and Hispaniola, which became Santo Domingo, before returning to Spain. He left 39 men to build a settlement called La Navidad in present-day Haiti.
In Haiti, all right.
Yes.
Well, that's
And
down.
then he turned around and went back to Spain at that point.
What about Anguilla? Where does he stand on Anguilla?
Good point.
Is he pro or?
How do you talk to the third? Hey, guys, you stay here. I'm gonna head back.
I'll be
Well,
I'll be right back.
I'm sure it was lovely. Why wouldn't they have wanted to? It was beautiful white sand beaches.
You're
and all
left on an
all those
uninhabited
crab shacks and bars on the
Pools,
beach.
yeah.
I suppose.
I'd rather be
would
on the
say-
other side on Hawaii
Yeah.
with that knucklehead.
Yeah. So what is the problem here? Who stole who from who? Who stole
Excuse
what
me?
from who?
It's
Yes.
it's manifest destiny. It's what's been happening since the beginning of time.
Well, I'm trying to work my way there. Could you consider it warfare?
In a way,
What
They
are
were
wars
looking
fought
for-
for?
they were looking for natural resources,
What are wars fought for?
land,
Land.
and control.
Egos.
So, the natives and the people who followed Columbus, they got into it, right?
I think it was a polite takeover. I don't. Was there a lot of fighting?
Mostly peaceful takeover.
Yeah. They just moved in, new neighbors. All right.
When Columbus arrived on San Salvador, he encountered the Taino people, whom he described in letters as naked as the day they were born.
Hey,
Well, by damn.
Well,
Taino-
no wonder they
perks to the
stayed.
gig, huh?
Yeah.
The
I'm
Taino,
staying here. Say hi to my folks.
the Taino had complex hierarchical religious, political, and social systems, skilled farmers and navigators. They wrote music and poetry. They were the most numerous indigenous people of the Caribbean and inhabited much of what is now Cuba, Jamaica, Haiti, the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands. By 1550, the Taino were close to extinction, many having succumbed to diseases brought by the Spaniards.
Okay, let's
so
be
there's-
serious for a minute. What is being taught in the failed academy is that we're nothing but a bunch of shameful louts that created this country. The failed academy has failed because of their negativity. What is it that the failed academy would have us acknowledge? That we should never have been here in the first place?
Right up until the early 1900s, when the into the 1900s, with the great migration from the Europeans, from Norway, Sweden.
Were we
Ireland.
not supposed to do that?
You're right.
What were we supposed to do?
You're right. All of our ancestors were guilty for wanting a better life.
Right. And in the failed academy, these brains of mush are they're brainwashed into believing that this is nothing but corrupt unfairness. And Kamala's their gal for that. She loves that stuff. And so what the hell is the answer to the failed academy other than just shut the hell up, you're wrong? What is the answer? We're not supposed to be here. This microphone shouldn't exist. This computer shouldn't exist. This should be whatever it would have become.
The answer to me is don't teach that, but teach just the facts. I mean,
Teach the truth.
Well, they
Yeah.
don't teach the
facts.
truth.
They
yeah,
don't
well,
teach
that's
the
what they
facts.
should do.
We
What
can't
about-
apologize for it now, but we can say,
Guys.
here's what happened.
What about the great irony that you're saying he didn't even step foot on the mainland, but all the pushback is coming from the indigenous and the natives and the guilty?
They never met the guy.
Yeah.
They never met him.
Yeah.
I'm looking right now at.
They need to find a new person to hate.
This is neat. On his Wikipedia page, they have a diagram of all four of the voyages. The first
Columbus
four
did a
voyages.
Wikipedia page?
I know, it's crazy. But the routes that they took is interesting because none of them were the same, right?
Well, no, they didn't know where to go.
Well, yeah, you just use Google
You
Maps.
used the sun.
And the
Now,
stars.
John, Google. Well, then, who was the first?
That was my question.
Who was the first European to set foot on what is
No.
now the United States?
No, Joe. The guy who's the jackass that went from the island to the mainland.
Yeah,
he
so
went
one of
rogue.
those
That's the
39
guilty-
guys
so
said,
he-
there's got to be more than this.
Yeah, one of those.
So he carves out a birch bark canoe and takes off.
Well, no, what he thought was there's too many of us on this island. It's going to tip over.
We need the name of that guy to hate.
That's the guy.
Columbus had nothing to do with this country.
He's
nothing.
back at home watching ESPN.
That's right.
He doesn't
He's at a
know what's
soccer
going
match in Italy.
De Soto was the first.
Soto.
uh,
Sure,
he-
we named a car
Soto.
after him too.
He led the
bastard.
first European expedition deep into what is now the U.S., traveling through Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, and possibly Arkansas.
Well, let's hate him.
That's the bastard.
Before
What's
that,
his first name,
up
John?
north, his first name is Hernando de Soto.
Henry.
Just
5
call him
years
Hank.
5 years before he was here, Jacques Cartier was up north, the Gulf of St. Lawrence,
Sure.
claimed that land
That's
for
where you
them.
get your French Canadians.
And of course, as Kenny said, Leif Erikson set foot in
The
North
Vikings,
America
you know.
500 years before Columbus.
And
That's
John,
right.
what about the Spaniards that started in South America, went through Central America up into Mexico and the Southwest?
You know, we just stumbled on it our own stupid way. We've been hating the wrong guy.
Who we mad at?
Well, now I got more too. That
Yeah,
that
let's go
contradicts. Ponce de Leon was there
I
bef-
forgot
before.
about him. Fountain of Youth.
Fountain of Youth,
Yeah.
Florida.
Before De Soto, he was in Florida before De Soto was by about 20 years. So We have to count
You'll
him.
learn more
before
here
this
by accident
That's
than
right.
elsewhere by design.
We
Joe
do.
Soucheray.
I guarantee most of the GLers knew all this.
I can't wait for the emails about
Yeah,
your
it's
history.
gonna be
I
fun.
know.
It's
This
gonna
will be
fun.
great. This will be great.
I can't believe.
The wrong guy is being vilified. Maybe Ponce fought a few Indians. Maybe
In the boat?
Hank DeSoto was a roughshod guy. I don't know. But Columbus was back home
Yeah.
when they found Raleigh and, in Durham and
Miami.
Wilmington, Miami.
Orlando.
Jackie Gleason
whole
was there.
How sweet it is.
Christ almighty.
Ponce de Leon did immediately get into fights, apparently, with the natives. His
He's a
expedition,
hothead.
his expedition repulsed by natives as soon as he landed. Ponce de Leon hit by an arrow and died from his wounds.
Okay, so
Wait a minute,
they
so-
were met with hostility.
Correct.
Oh,
Well,
they took him
here's
down,
so,
though.
yeah.
So they should celebrate the day they took him down.
Okay, he was met with hostility, which
Ponce
would
Day.
suggest we're getting somewhere here. Aren't all things fair in love and war? Doesn't Ponce get to fight back his people? Does he not get to fight back?
He was the invader, Joe. His invasion
And
was
he was
repelled.
attacked for being
Yeah.
the invader.
And that's why they should celebrate that day.
That's right. But he has the right now